been putting off this video for about a week because I felt like when I finally put it up, the series would be truly over. But I've come to terms with it, and I know it's time to say of Itik Vale, hail and farewell to the Mortal Instruments series. So I got myself prepared. I have my Izzy makeup on. I'm all runed up. The other day I put runes on my nails. If you want to see that, Instagram link. And I have my steel keyring. Unfortunately, my Morgenstern ring didn't arrive in time, but anywho, let's get book talking. So first of all, spoilers. So leave if you have not yet read City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare, and of course the other books in the series. So just in case people don't really know about this series, start with City of Bones, first book in the series, and then once you've read the first 3 books in the series, so that's City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, come to me and I will tell you how to interweave these books with the infernal devices. City of Ashes just fell over. So first off, I'm going to talk the 6 deaths. I predicted 2 of them. The first being Jordan. I wasn't particularly invested in Jordan's character, though because he died so early on, I did feel like he was kind of forgotten. You know, there was a few mentions of him and like people being really sad that he died, but you know, no one was particularly distraught over it. And even Maya was had something to tell him. I'm like, I swear everyone just assumed she was pregnant. I had so many book talks and people were like, was Maya pregnant? No, she just wanted to break up with him, which was really sad. And then we had Meliorn, killed by our very own Alec Lightwood, who got so sassy in this book. So sassy. Meliorn can lie. That was, I was hoping for a big, like, the whole fairies can't lie thing to be a massive conspiracy. I thought that would have been hilarious. But it was just Meliorn that couldn't lie, and that was still quite a big, like, plot twist type thing. Oh god. So manipulative. Fairies. Then there was Maureen, thank god. She was crazy. Absolutely bonkers. So I thought the way she died was so cool. So like Lily set it up, which I thought was great. And then so Maya had injected holy water into it, and then when she bit her, Maureen, so naive, and like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna bite this werewolf and everything is gonna be okay. Of course this werewolf is volunteering to be bitten, that's totally normal. And then she like crumpled to the ground in ashes. That was so cool. And then we had poor Raphael. I've always loved Raphael, especially in City of Ashes. I don't really know why I liked him, but he just seemed so nice. And then when we found out in City of Heavenly Fire that he was jealous of Simon and that he had history with Magnus, it just really brought his character together, and it made it all the more upsetting when he died. Then we had, in one of the final scenes, Amatis dying, along with all of the other Undarkened warriors. Of course that wasn't particularly sad, because we'd gotten used to the idea of Amatis being gone in City of Lost Souls. And finally, the saddest death of them all, Sebastian. Now if I said this to an outsider who had only read up to perhaps City of Lost Souls, they would think I was a crazy psychopath type person, maybe. But no, really, it was so emotional. I was crying so much, and I think the biggest bit is it's not just that he turned good, it's that his eyes went green, and he was the brother she never had, and Jocelyn as well was like crying over him because it was the son she'd always dreamed of. Oh, and his last words were so good. It was like, that would be a beautiful lie to believe. Something like that. And so I was so glad that they gave him a suitable send-off, because I thought he was a bit of a charmer. Yeah, and I'm glad Clary disposed of the ashes in a suitable manner. Now, what I considered to be a seventh death might as well have been dead. It was worse than death. Was Simon losing his memories. Oh my god. That was like worse than any of the deaths, was Simon losing his memories. It reminded me a lot of when Donna forgot the Doctor in Doctor Who. It was like the saddest episode to date. And yes, I'm including the one where Amy and Rory die. I never know if Doctor Who things are spoilers, because usually people just watch them every week and you don't watch them on repeat. Sorry if you haven't seen the Amy and Rory dying episode, or Donna forgetting the Doctor. Donna forgetting the Doctor, guys. And Simon, oh my god. But then we had hope. Epilogue. Clary goes up to him and it's so emotional. It's like almost as bad as a telephone call. Why did she do that to herself? The telephone call. Why did she do that to herself? But he was really, he's so like charming, is Simon, but he doesn't know her. And it's like, that's not how you act around Clary, Simon. This isn't you. That's how you act around someone you've never met before, never mind your best friend. And then his band was called The Mortal Instruments. I swear Cassandra Clare must have been planning that since book 1. I know it was originally only going to be 3 books, but I swear she was planning it since book 1. Oh my god. I know. I just like, I had like a massive like intake of breath. I was like, oh my god. Simon remembers something, Simon remembers something. Oh, and I was so glad that when they finally decided on a band name, it was something awesome, like The Mortal Instruments. It should have been Sexy Vampire Mojo. And yeah, and he's gonna ascend, and maybe Clary and Simon will be Parvati. There's actually going to be a collection of short stories. I'm guessing they'll be like the Bane Chronicles about Simon, so I really hope we get to see him ascend and become Clary's Parvati. That would just be the best. So now we talk ships. There was Clace, there was Sizzy, and there was Malik. Oh yeah, and there was even a tiny bit of Clubastian-ish. No, not really. She stabbed him, didn't kiss him. And there was a tiny bit of Jordan, no, there was a tiny bit of Jordan and Maya. But there was a little bit of Maya and Bat. Don't know if anyone shipped that. But Clace, Malik and Sizzy. Let's talk Clace first. So Clary finally got out the Heavenly Fire from Jace. And I was just like, so relieved. No, but I figured out what they'd done before they did it. I figured out that I finally got to find out what that rune was for, and that she'd forged the sword in Heavenly Fire, Jace's Heavenly Fire, and I especially figured it out when they were, you know, in the lake. Jace brought a condom to the demon realms. Literally, I was scrolling through Tumblr and there was 2 things that kept appearing. 1, how did Jace think to bring a condom to the demon realms? And 2, Alec Lightwood saying, I'm not your bitch. So yeah, they finally, it was so frustrating. So book 1, it was never really gonna happen because they'd only just gotten together. Books 2 and 3, they thought they were brother and sister. Book 4, Jace was being possessed by Lilith. Book 5, Jace was bonded to Sebastian, and Clary didn't really feel like it, and for most of book 6 he was heavily fired up. So it was a huge relief. Huge relief. And then there was Sizzy. So they kept having that whole thing about, oh my god, you need to DTI, you need to define the relationship. And then they finally had like a proper hissing session. And then Alec walked in. Why can't straight people control themselves? And then Simon was like, so have we DTR'd now? And Izzy's like, I have no idea what that means. And you can just imagine Simon being like, yes, I'm not the only one who has no clue what DTR meant. And then he's like, are we officially boyfriend and girlfriend? Can I change my Facebook status from it's complicated to in a relationship? And then Izzy's like, you have a book that's also a face. I don't know if she was joking or if she genuinely doesn't know what Facebook is, but it's hilarious, like that unknowingness of the real world. Then we had Alec, they got back together, and there's not much more to say about it other than they got back together and I'm so happy. Dungeons and Dragons tactics. They were great. I really want to play Dungeons and Dragons. I really want to get, I know this will like offend some like proper Dungeons and Dragons nerds, but can you get like themed Dungeons and Dragons, like Shadowhunter Dungeons and Dragons, Harry Potter Dungeons and Dragons? I should just say D&D. Harry Potter D&D. Oh my god, Doctor Who D&D. That would be so cool. Yeah, I think you should be able to. I know some people are like, oh no, but you need to play the classic. And that thing where they change their clothes, and I'm just like, and I just, and then they're really confused by Simon's suggestion, and Clary's like, what? It's in every film, like ever. And then they're just like, but we don't watch films. And then Izzy's like, well, the question is, does Sebastian watch films? Now for Emma Carstairs and the Blackthorns. I liked the Blackthorns, I liked Julian, I hope he's a love interest, although they're going to be Parvati, and I think that might be quite a big focus in TD8, because Emma sort of hinted at the fact she was getting feelings for Julian, so that might be like trying to defy the clothes and stuff. That might be a theme in TD8. There was Julian, there was the twins. I thought that Ty was going to be the secret Arendelle. There was Emma Carstairs, and then she was related to Jem. She's all like, oh my god, so cool. And she's like, she thought she was like the last of the Arendelle bloodline, but I just realised she's not the last of the Arendelle bloodline. There's still Jem. He's still alive and going to have children with Tessa, I hope. And then, yeah, I love Emma. She reminds me so much of Jace, and you gotta love Jace. And then Julian's more Jem, but he's not that much like Jem, so it's difficult. Yeah, I love Emma though, I really do. She's so like Jace. So like half the little clues and snippets that Cassie gave us didn't actually happen. I thought that was hilarious because she like got us all worked up about nothing. There was no chapter called Simon's Sacrifice, although it could have been used in the bit where he lost his memory. There was no when did the Zachariah get hot. It was slightly different, the line. It was similar, but it wasn't the same. And there was no secret Arendelle. I was like convinced that Ty was going to be the secret Arendelle, and he wasn't. Oh, at the epilogue, during the wedding, when Clary meets Tessa at last, and we found out that Clary's called Frey, F for Fairchild, and the rest for Grey. I was really happy because I found it really annoying when I first found out that, like, Clary, Frey, Tessa, Grey. I'm like, Cassie, you have such an imaginative name, they rhyme. And then I realised that there was a reason for that. And I was surprised when I found out it was Brother Zachariah and Tessa who did the ceremony. And then I realised, who else would it be but Brother Zachariah? And if it was Brother Zachariah, who else would it be with Tessa with him? Because, like, no other silent brother would, like, do something so, like, secret and stuff, because Jem's the most human of the lot of them. So if you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on the book, I have 2 videos of part 1 and 2. There were only 2 parts to City of Heavenly Fire. Usually there's 3. Like, with my reactions to what happened. But I'm just gonna finish up with my favourite moments. Alec Lightwood didn't make a pie. 1, because he didn't have any pie ingredients. 2, because he didn't actually know how to make a pie. And 3, because he's not your bitch. Jem stole back church. Jace and Clary jumped through the portal together. Jace being badass at the Citadel. Every Simon moment. And Emma stabbing Sebastian. Bye!